Hey there, welcome to this video series where I'm trying to start a new business from scratch based on a new type of pet carrier that I've invented. And I'm posting the entire process on YouTube so that you can follow along if you're interested. In today's video, I'm going to give a quick update on my financials to date, my new logo that I've developed, and I'm going to talk about the product development process and why it's so hard to get things right. So here's the spreadsheet where I'm tracking my revenue and my total expenses for this business. You'll see that my revenue is still zero because I haven't made any sales because I don't have a product to sell yet. I'm still in the process of refining the design, and I'm going to have a second prototype manufactured and shipped to me soon. So in terms of new expenses since my last video update, I have two, I believe. The first is a redesign of the logo. I really absolutely hated my Fiverr logo design. It ended up looking like so I paid much more money this time around to have someone do it up properly, and it looks amazing now, so I'm going to share that in a second. And also I had to pay to have a little bit of redesign work done on the actual pet carrier design because, as I'm going to talk about in a second, through the process of having that first prototype manufactured and shipped to me, I realized that there were a number of issues that needed to be worked out before I could actually go public with it. It just wasn't close enough to what I want the final product to be for me to feel comfortable releasing it. So it's going to take a little bit more time than I thought, and I was a little bit naive in the process in the beginning, thinking that I could just simply, have this idea for an invention, have someone drop some sketches, get a prototype manufactured and shipped to me, and then bam, I'd be, hitting the ground running. But it hasn't exactly worked out that way. Anyways, scrolling down here, you'll see that my total expenses for this business startup so far is $13,650.10. And I expect that to go up to probably around $20,000 before I'm actually launching this product. I have a couple new things that are being budgeted for or that I'm planning for in the near future. First is I'm gonna have to have a second prototype manufactured and shipped to me. Second is that I'm going to have to still pay for the patent applications. And then I've started to think about some expenses that I know I'm going to incur to actually launch my product. So since I'm thinking about doing a launch on Kickstarter, I'm going to have a bunch of marketing related expenses in terms of getting the word out there that this is a cool product and people should buy it. So in total, I think I'm going to come to probably around 20,000, maybe a little more, hopefully not too much more, because this is starting to get pretty expensive, and obviously I don't have anything to show for it yet. Anyways, let's check out the logo. So this is it. This is my new logo, and I think it looks great. It really captures the essence of the brand. It's kind of fun and playful and cheerful, and we've got the little cat and the little dog in there because, of course, my new pet carrier is going to be an equal opportunity pet carrier. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Cost me around $120, but you get what you pay for, and my logo design from Fiverr was less than $10 including tax, but you could tell. And moving forward, I'm going to be using this logo for all of my branding material. I'm going to slap it on the side of the pet carriers, and I'm going to be in a really solid position to have a better marketing campaign, because I think one of the most important things, especially in digital marketing or social media marketing, is that you have to have a strong brand and something that people are immediately drawn to. And having a good logo is definitely a huge part of that. So about this prototype situation. In my last video, I mentioned that my prototype was being manufactured and was going to be shipped to me shortly, and then I was hopeful that I'd be able to reveal it on camera and then go about my business launching the product and making $1 million. Obviously, that has not happened yet. And the reason for that is that, like I said, I was naive in thinking that it would be that simple and that the first prototype would just be so perfect and so close to the final finished product that I'd be able to just launch from there. That being said, I've contracted the same product designer that I had help me with the first initial round of designs to do some more work to fix it up a little bit and to address some of the issues that I found with the first prototype. Then I'm going to have a second prototype manufactured and shipped to me. And hopefully prototype 2.0 is close enough to the final version that I can actually use that one to go public with. Then at that point, my plan is to apply for some patents so that I have some IP protection for when I launch. And then finally, I'll be able to share it with the public and to start using my brand new logo to create a solid brand name and then to do some marketing around this product. I'm really starting to realize how long the product development process can be. And it's definitely not easy. It's not something that I thought about at first. And there's so many different elements to it that you don't realize if you're just dreaming of ideas. But when you actually start to try to build something and to bring it into reality, then it becomes clear that it's not as easy as you think it's going to be. And you have to start thinking of all these things, like I said, that you would have had no idea you'd have to think about, like the types of materials that you're going to be using and whether or not they can withstand certain amounts of stress. And it has to feel sturdy so that people are willing to trust it with their pets. And there's all kinds of other elements, like the handle has to have enough clearance for the knuckles and things like that. And these are the type of things that you can't necessarily iron out in the design page when you're just drawing things on paper, because you need to have the physical object in front of you so that you can play around with it and realize what works and what doesn't. And what seems great from a design perspective on paper doesn't always end up being practical when you're actually looking at using the product in real life. So this has definitely been a great learning experience for me, for sure. And I'm really starting to appreciate how much work goes into developing a solid product. But of course, it's taking longer than I expected, and it's going to cost more than I expected because I have to pay for all these redesigns and then a second prototype. So again, a little bit disappointing that I've come all this way to only realize that I have to do a lot more work, but I'm willing to be patient in order to make sure that the product that I end up releasing is a good one that I can be proud of, and I think it's going to be much more successful in the long run if I do that anyways. So just a quick little update for you today. It's not as much as I would have liked to share, and I'm still hopeful that in the next few weeks or months I'll be able to actually finally go public with this product, but we'll see what happens. I'm realizing now that I can't set unrealistic expectations or timelines for this, and I have to be a little bit patient, which is not my strong suit, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.